As most of you know by now, we are currently in our New York Theater of Conquest event. We are in the epic battlefield, and as I'm sure a lot of you that are going to be watching this video have already watched the cheating videos that have come out about S21. I obviously have made a couple of them, as well as multiple other creators. So they've gotten exposed on a pretty grand scale. However, there was we'll call it, I'm not going to call it a true 1v1. I guess you could. At one point in time, there was Server 21 was trying to build a CC, and we had already activated surprise attack. When I say we, I meant our coalition of allies. We have all activated surprise attack, and Server 40 jumped in and put 21 to absolute bed. They tucked them in and whooped that ass. Now, with that being said, I got the footage because a lot of you guys, just through the channel surveys and things like that, have requested to see more battle footage, and this was a great opportunity to get that battle footage, but Server 40 put on a beautiful display on how to end up stopping a CC build. Not only did they stop one single CC build from S21, they stopped 3 of them. So we're going to watch all of the clips. Welcome back, guys. I hope you are all doing wonderful. I hope life is going well. I know I've changed outfits. This is a video that I have been kind of putting together over the course of a couple days, but it's finally all coming together and we are getting everything edited and ready to roll out for you guys. So like I said in the intro, the vast majority of you guys have requested more combat footage, and there was some prime opportunity during this New York Theater of Conquest event here for some good combat footage for me to display and kind of talk you guys through and narrate over a little bit. Nothing, crazy elaborate on my end, but Server 21 is building a CC. They actually attempted 3 of them. It took them all 3 to finally finish it on the 3rd go. Server 40 pretty much put a stop to the first 2, and they put a pretty interesting show on how to jump in and stop a build, and just kind of how to go about that whole process. And so we're going to have a super relaxed, super chill video. I'm going to kick back a little bit, and we're just going to kind of talk through it and see how the fighting goes. Let's jump over into the footage, and I will start taking you guys through each and every one of those clips. All right, so I have our first clip pulled up. There are 3 in total, and I've gone through and kind of pre-edited all of these clips, and I've sped it up by, basically it was at 100%, I took it to 150% on all 3 of these clips to condense down the total time that these clips are. But again, I'm going to talk over it. I'm just kind of kicked back in the chair. Nothing crazy. It's not going to be a huge production or anything like that, but just kind of walking through this whole process. And you guys can see here, I was getting ready to try to jump in myself because we have surprise attack enabled. So does Server 40. Pretty much our whole coalition does. So I was trying to jump in, but that guy beat me to it. But here's what Server 40 starts to do really good. They got some bases into some openings, and they initially, before they had got a base in, I believe MAD plus minus, which I guess stands for 11 there, what they did is he basically jumped in and targeted a super weak base that Server 21 had on the CC build, killed it, whoops, and then was able to plant his base and then start killing other bases to open up spots for other Server 40 members. And you can see Tony Stark there got in, and then they've had some others. It looked like Neto got in up there at the top, killed the base himself. So you guys can see they're just executing this perfectly. They kill a base together, and as they start adding more and more of their guys to this build that's taking place and blocking it, then they start really, you're going to see them working together really well. And Server 21, I don't think anticipated Server 40 showing up the way they did like this, or anybody for that matter, but they kind of got into a panic in a hurry, and they were like, you could tell they really didn't have much going for army groups or anything like that. They had some bases trucking in like that guy right there. Not much for air support or fighter cover for those artillery right there. So just kind of let it play through here. You can see that they're just Server 40 is just bombing them. trying to kill off as much as they can. And they did a really, really good job here, server 40. So another prime example here, right? They see a weak base. They just start absolutely meleeing it with bombers to try to get another spot opened up there for somebody else. You can see somebody just dropped in there and killed another weak base, because you can see they're already burnt. Some of them, not all of them, but you can see they're already burnt. So they're just dropping and picking off the weak guys, the lower bases. There you go. He gets his base up. Now here's another one to the mix. And they just did a phenomenal job. And something else to note is, look, they've already got a rally going. Now, obviously, it's not a full rally because they've got limited bases in that build. But you can see they've already got rallies being formed, and they're starting to try to fill them. Because their land, I know you guys can't really tell on the map here, but their land is not that far away from where they're at currently. So it's not that hard for them to get units into these groups, but they formed them up quickly. And then here they go. They start really kind of working through. They draw, here goes another base, dropping somebody else in. Looks like Scary there is, yep, working on some of that army group there that appears to be pretty much offline for the most part. Somebody tries to get out of that group and get out of there. And yeah, that didn't work well. But this group is just totally, I guess, offline, not paying attention, something, because they just got decimated. And then here goes server 40 jumping in on their artillery with their tank groups. So I mean, this is pretty well executed. You can see that guy in the bottom. You can't see him on the screen now, but he took off. He hauled ass back to his base with his artillery. Turn my heater on real quick here. I don't know. Let me know too. A little side note. What do you guys think about these kind of chill videos where I kind of just narrate over this? Is it too like unprofessional? Do you enjoy this a little bit more? Here goes another base. I mean, look at this. Look how well executed this is. Drop another one, and then it looks like they got another. Yep, they dropped another one there, and they've got one up north now. They've got army groups rolling. A lot of these too are just individual guys that are playing, but playing as kind of a cohesive unit there. So they've got, you can see these dots all over, these blue dots, since we're allies with them. I mean, they're just getting everywhere now. This guy doesn't even have a unit, or I'm sorry, I guess he does. So he had his units there, so he got killed off. Here comes another base, and they just keep plugging the holes, one at a time. And that's how you do it. It looks like this base might be a little bit weak. He plants it, and then that other server 40 base was planning on going there, but kind of got hosed out of that deal. But yeah, this is good stuff from server 40. So it looks like they've got two base trucks now. Okay, so that guy moved his base, so there goes another deploy. I'm not sure what that guy's doing with his truck. He's driving it right into server 21 territory. I'm not really sure. And they just keep picking them off little bit by little bit by little bit. And at this point, you guys can already tell the build is stopped. The build is entirely stopped. So now this is where it gets interesting, because they're going to try to start to kill some of these server 40 bases. They're going to try to get something going, but they just don't get around to it. So let's see if I can speed this up here for us. So you can see some groups are going. Okay, here we go. Let's back it up. All right, so now they're going to start. Now they've got organized a little bit. They're going to start targeting bases there. So it looks like popping artillery out. So they got rid of that base pretty quick. So that's gone, and then here comes somebody else. So they're going to drop somebody else in there. So they're scouting out these bases. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and... Oh, all right. So this bad boy guy, so they've got him targeted. They're going to drop him now, and then just drop another base, and they're going to keep doing it. And it is this is how you guys are supposed to correctly block and stop a build. And ultimately, the goal is to get them to just totally abandon the build altogether, which, spoiler, server 21 does end up doing in this go-around. They end up basically seeing there's essentially no hope, and they just bail on it. So it looks like this NZ War guy is going to be the next base here. Let's go ahead and forward it. Okay, so they killed that guy. Let's see. Okay, so we've got this guy, and he's getting smoked. They just keep one base at a time. One base at a time, dropping the next base in. All right. So there's some messages there. Sorry, didn't mean to have that. I thought I edited those out, but evidently I did not. So now they're really rolling. Now server 40 is really rolling, and 21 hasn't been able to really get much going in terms of like forming army groups there on the actual build, or at least around the build, to try to get some kind of counterattack going. Let's see, fast forward. Okay, so they end up killing this guy. So he's gone now, and then they've placed another base, and then you can see at this point, I'm kind of like looking around, I'm like, what's going on next? And I can see they totally abandoned the build. So they got stopped on that CC build. It is totally abandoned. Now let's jump over to the next clip, which is going to be their attempt at a second CC build. All right, so we are at clip number 2 now. You can see that we have a second CC that is on the way. So it is, I'm trying to do a little pan over here. You guys can see it is going. They've got it blocked at this point. By the time I start filming, they have, I believe, Sing Song from NFG found just a random little opening that I don't think anybody really picked up on the fact that a base could land there. And one of the biggest bases in the entire Conquest event happened to park himself in there. So I put a tag up for our guys to watch the fight. You can see Mao, who is the R5 of server 40, is incredibly strong himself. He got that base deployed just in the nick of time. I'm going to kind of fast forward through here. So you can see Sing Song, at this point they realize, server 21 realizes they're getting targeted, and so they start to try to form up groups in this CC build. So I'm kind of going through here, fast forward a little bit. Okay, so it looks like Mao is up and going. So he got activated somewhere along the lines from one of those server 21 guys. Somebody activated him and triggered his base there. Now you will see some activation going on between NFG here in a little bit and server 40, but that kind of happened towards the end. There was a couple times where server 21 themselves actually activated some bases during an attack and ended up kind of paying the steep price for that. So let's fast forward. You can see server 21 is at this point starting to have some groups forming, but nothing that's really, so they killed that base right there in the corner, and then here goes another base dropping in. And I think I clipped it out, but there's that base right there to the right here. It was a weak base in terms of overall power, and I'm like, guys, kill that base, get somebody else in there, kill that base, and they finally did it, but it was a little bit later on. So you can see server 40's got themselves another base in there, and server 21 has got some groups going, but you can see like look at this. This is the interesting thing about server 21 is they pretty much, at least from what I've seen this event, they don't get much going unless I have no money leads the charge. You can see I have no money first, second, third, third. I mean, he basically has to do all the work. I mean, he's got to tank the bases, he's got to kill the bases, he's got to fly the fighter support. So it's just kind of interesting. Without him, they don't seem to want to really do much, or at least be capable of much. But I mean, I guess to be fair to them, he is an incredibly strong base. So it, I guess it kind of is what it is. But so you can see at this point, okay, so Neto is up now. Neto, they've Sing Song killed the base, so now Neto is in the build himself. So I'm just trying to fast forward it. Okay, so you can see Neto goes ahead and drops this 21 base here, or at least attempts to, I should say. Fast forward. So these groups are still just kind of sitting idle. So that's where we're at right now. I ended up losing connection. I know I've edited it out, but my internet dropped for just a second, so I lost the connection, and then I picked it back up again on the next clip. All right, so we have the third clip up now. So we are still back in the same spot. You guys can see Neto's there, Sing Song's there, and they've got some groups that they're trying to form. It looks like Neto, this is one of those times that maybe Neto was activated by server 21, sorry, not server 1, server 21 directly, and then they kind of bailed, and he ended up killing that base off, and I believe they were able to get, another base there? Okay, yep, Mad is there now. So they've got 3 pretty massive whales sitting right in that build all together. Okay, so let's back this up. All right, so now we've got Mao. He is getting targeted by Server 21. It looks like he is going to just absolutely decimate through some of their stuff. They end up getting him, of course, but that he inflicts some pretty significant damage here before they end up finally killing him off. I mean, he just chews through some of these units. It's pretty insane. So he's out of there now. And then so now there you obviously can see they're hurting. They're going to start trying to reform these army groups. They had jumped, looks like, wait, who is that? B-52 in. Okay, B-52 just jumped in there. So let's see. And that was right in place of Mao there. So B-52 is in now. Let's keep perusing along. Okay, so Neto is activated, and it may have been Sing Song at this point that activated him. I don't remember exactly. It was probably Sing Song. Again, they were activating each other, but not... There goes Tony Stark, another pretty big whale from Server 40. But I think, yeah. So they're going to... Let's see what happens here. So he does some pretty significant damage to them as well. So they're really starting to hurt at this point. Okay, so they got a base in... Server 21 got a base in there. Okay, so this is where, yep, they start to activate each other, you know, which, to be fair, this base activation stuff sucks, but absolutely everybody in this Theater of Conquest event has been doing it. Anybody that says they haven't been is lying. Doesn't make it any better that it's been happening, but it has been happening. Okay, so let's back this up. Okay, so Sing Song got activated, and then here he goes. He's just going to absolutely chew through some of these guys, or I should say a lot of these guys. I mean, look at that base just absolutely disintegrating these units, especially these artillery units. Like, it's just absolutely wild to watch this. And he hit a SOS right there too, which made that even more painful for these guys. I mean, wow. That kill report, if I remember correctly, that kill report was something like 6,000, little north of 6,000. Okay, so let's see. Looks like something happened right there. I'm kind of recapping myself as I go through this. So, okay, so it looks like Tony Stark might have tried to jump again and didn't get it. Okay, so now Neto is activated. Neto's another huge base. So he's going to rip through them pretty good, too. I mean, they took some heavy... Server 21 took some freaking heavy losses right here, especially for only being up against, 4 or 5 bases there. Okay, so Mad... Okay, so you can see that time that guy activated him. So that was not a ally activation. That was Server 21 themselves actually activating the base. So let's see. It looks like they went ahead... Okay, this is another base. This is Tiger. So he got in there somehow. And then I think we're to the end. So they end up, at the end here, they end up rallying because Mad right there is the last base alive out of anybody that's not Server 21. So he's the last one blocking the build there. And they have finally filled all of the other spots with bases. They end up coming along, killing Mad, and getting the CC completely built after 3 attempts. That's going to wrap us up for the video. Like I said, give me some feedback if you don't mind. Let me know, do you like these combat, style or combat footage style videos? Do you like the kind of just chill, laid back, kind of narrating over it, so to speak? Pros, cons. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, any feedback is appreciated and will be taken into consideration moving forward. So I enjoyed it. Again, if you guys liked it, great. Let me know. If you didn't, no biggie, but also let me know. And if you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you have access to Discord but are not already in our community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video. Click on that link. It'll take you right into the community Discord server. So whether you are a new player and have questions, want to learn some more, whether you're a veteran player and just want to come hang out with more people in the community, it doesn't matter. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We'll see you on the next one.